we were discussing about the physiographic divisions of Telangana based on the altitude, right? So what are the regions in Telangana where you find elevation around 600 meters? Hyderabad, Rangareddy, and some parts of Vikarabad, and the
Agar
Nagarkalluri,
Karnal.
the Amravati region. So these are the places where you find the elevation. Okay. So if you go to Srisailam, I don't know how many of you been to the Srisailam region. So we're going to Srisailam, you have to come across this, you'll come across this Amravati tiger reserve, right?
Yes, sir.
And the tiger seeing point also. I'm not able to recall the name.
Amrabat
Faryab,
Tiger Reserve.
it's Amravati tiger reserve. The section is Farzabad or huh? Yeah. Then moving on to the second division based on the altitude, that is around 300 to 600 region. So this region consists mainly of Rangareddy, Mehboob Nizamabad, and Warangal. Basically, the western part of Telangana, yeah, the entire this region. Okay, the western part of this Telangana is around 300 to 600 region. Okay, so in the north, faulting has been preserved as a belt of Gondwanas along the lower Godavari region on the south Krishna Tungabhadra region as well. So if you closely look at this place, can you find the river here? This is Godavari. Okay, and south you can find this is Krishna. Okay, so north of this you find this Godavari, and south of this you find Krishna. Okay, and along the path of Godavari in this region you find the Gondwana coal rocks. The Gondwana coal rocks are found in the Godavari basin of this district. So that's why you find Singareni colonies here, right, in this region. Okay, so along the lower region of Godavari you find Gondwanas, but not on the upper reaches. And once again, what are the rock you find is gneiss rock underlying this region. And whenever you find hard rocks like this, so since the peninsular region is a hard rock region and Telangana plateau region is undulating like this. So when it is undulating like this, what you can find here is naturally this land is suitable for what? It is suitable for what? Lakes, right?
Water bodies.
Yeah, so it is naturally famous for lakes. And so Telangana region was majorly dependent on tanks. Why it was majorly dependent on tank irrigation? Reason number one, what type of rocks you find here? They are hard rocks, like gneiss. They are very hard rocks. So rainwater cannot percolate down, right? So as a result, what happens? The underground water level will be low. And second reason, the land is undulating. Since it is eroded, so you find undulating land, which is suitable for this. Okay. And these tanks were well developed by our Kakatiyas. So because of the royal patronage, these lakes were properly managed, and each lake was so big that they were capable to irrigate around 1,000 to 2,000 acres of land and provide drinking water in the hard summer season. Okay, but what happened after the merging of Telangana with AP? Okay, so these lakes were not given importance. These tanks were not given importance. So there was a system called Neradi Vyavastha. Neradi Vyavastha, nothing but this Neradi people are responsible for maintaining lakes in the village. Okay, but they were removed these Neradi people, the officers were responsible for maintaining lakes in the villages. This system was removed by NTR. Okay, so when this system was removed by NTR, now slowly the people who used to look after the lakes, They were not given the jobs or money, so they were not looking after them. So the entire lakes in Telangana, either they got encroached, or they got dried up, or they got filled with sediments. Okay, this was the scenario. So the entire irrigation in Telangana was basically a tank irrigation, right? Why majorly tank irrigation? There were supporting factors from the geographical factors like hard rock, undulating tanks, which was the royal patronage. Adding to that, rivers like Godavari, is a major river which flows through Telangana, is a superimposed river. Superimposed river. What is superimposed river? So there are two types. Basically, the Himalayan rivers are antecedent river. Okay, they are antecedent rivers. That means uh, the rivers were existing before the formation of the mountains of Himalayas and all. So they easily cut through the newly formed mountains in between. If, for example, Shivaliks were formed, so the rivers used to originate in Greater Himalayas and cut through Shivaliks, and they flow in this region. They are antecedent. So what are superimposed region? So initially this land was flat, and because of the tectonic activity, this land got uplifted. Okay, and the rivers then started to originate. And what happens at this phase? Rivers, since they're superimposed, they go deep, eroding down and down and down. Okay, people live here, and the rivers flow on the subsurface. Getting my point? Godavari River is in the high plateau, and the river glows in the subsurface around 200 to 300 meters down. So what you have to do, you have to construct dams, store the water, and pump upwards. So that's why lift irrigation is necessary in Telangana. Getting my point? So if you take example of Godavari here, see, it is entirely traveling to the plateau region and enter into Godavari basin. So here you have to construct the series. We in college, as part of college, we are constructing series of dams, storing the water, and reverse pumping, lifting the water, because rivers flow in the subsurface and we live on the elevated regions. Same on River Godavari, Andhra, in Andhra region, they are constructing Polavaram here. Okay, they need not construct lift irrigation project. Why? They don't require any lift irrigation projects in this region once the Godavari enters into Andhra. Why? Yeah.
The elevation is less.
See, after cutting Papikondalu, the Eastern Ghats, what you get is Eastern Coastal Plains. Eastern Coastal Plains. So if you just construct a dam across the river, that's enough. You can easily irrigate through canals. You don't require any lift irrigation and all. Okay? You don't require any lift irrigation in this region. So that's why the projects in Telangana were also not encouraged, as it was full of cost and lack of political motivation. Understood? These are the points where you have to mention regarding the Telangana movement. How our lake system, the tank irrigation system, was derailed. How projects were delayed. Because whole Telangana movement revolves around three things. What are that? What are three things?
నీళ్లు నిధులు నియామకాలు.
Okay, Niyamakal. So we are focusing on right now water. Okay. Right. Anyways, so that is about the second region, 300 to 600 region. Then the region having altitude below 300 meters. So the districts like Nalgonda, Khammam, Warangal, Adilabad, these regions, which are actually some of the regions are part of the Godavari basin, the elevation is below 300 meters. Can you find the S12 Adilabad, Karimnagar, this region? Okay, why? Because this region is drained by river Godavari. That's the reason why, right? The rivers flow towards east. Why? Because the elevation is high on the western side, and as you move towards the east, the elevation is decreasing. So that's why the rivers are flowing towards east. Okay. the S12 Nalgonda, Khammam, the S12 Adilabad region. So these regions, Warangal, these regions are the regions where the elevation is below 300 meters. Okay, what you have covered, the regions which are around 600 meters above 600, Rangareddy, Sangareddy, Medchal, and the Amrabad region of Nagar Karnool. And the western Telangana is completely the region which is around 300 to 600 meters. Okay, and the eastern region, the S12 Adilabad district, Warangal, Karimnagar, Nalgonda, these districts are the regions where they are below 300 meters. So that's why the rivers flow towards west to east here, because the slope is towards east. Okay, so this is about the regions based on altitude. Then moving on to based on the geological structure, you can divide Telangana into three physiographic divisions: the Telangana Plateau, Godavari Basin, and Krishna Piedmont. What do you mean by basin, and what do you mean by plateau, and what do you mean by Piedmont? Plateau is a region which is also called table land, right? Like this. Elevated region with flat top is called plateau, right? And what is a basin? Bed is in like a depression, low lying area. What is Piedmont area? Basically, Piedmont area is a, like the region which is at the foothills kind of region. Okay. So first starting with the Telangana Plateau. Telangana Plateau is part of which plateau?
Deccan Plateau.
Deccan Plateau.
Okay, Deccan Plateau. Right. So Telangana Plateau is the largest physiographic region of Telangana, which is around 60,000 square kilometer. And what is the total area of Telangana? Yes, first class itself, we have discussed it. Even today, I have revised it. 1 lakh
1,12,077 kilometers.
59,000 region comes under Telangana Plateau. So major division, right? And it is basically made up of Archean gneiss, very hard rocks. Okay, and altitude of this plateau is around 500 to 600 meters, and slope is obviously towards west to east. Just now we have seen it, right? Right. Since it is the old landform, it is highly eroded, right? So wherever you go, you find these eroded landforms, and here and there you find mandanocks, right? ఇప్పుడు యాదగిరి గుట్ట కానీ అటు సైడ్ లేకపోతే పేరేంటి భువనగిరి కానీ అక్కడక్కడ కొన్ని మండనాక్స్ కనిపిస్తాయి, మిగతా అన్ని ఎరోడెడ్ ఫీచర్స్ ఎక్కువ కనిపిస్తాయి మనకి కదా. ఎందుకు అంటే ఇది ఓల్డ్ ల్యాండ్ ఫామ్, అండ్యులేషన్స్ ఉంటాయి అన్ఈవెన్ గా, అక్కడక్కడ మండనాక్స్ కనిపిస్తాయి, ఇందాక నేను చెప్పిన బౌల్డర్ స్టోన్స్ కనిపిస్తాయి. ఎగ్జాక్ట్ జస్ట్ అ మినిట్, ఐ షో యూ ద పిక్చర్, జస్ట్ అ సెకండ్. ఎట్లుంటాయి కెన్ యు సీ దీస్ ఆర్ టార్స్. ఇట్లాంటివి కనిపిస్తాయి మీరు ఎప్పుడైనా తెలంగాణ ట్రావెల్ చేసినప్పుడు, ఎస్పెషల్లీ మీరు నల్గొండ అటు చేసినప్పుడు ఇక్కడ. ఓకే, సో ఇవన్నీ ఏంటంటే ఎరోజనల్ ఫీచర్స్ అన్నమాట. అండ్ యాజ్ ఐ టోల్డ్ యూ, ద ఎలివేషన్ చూడండి ఇటు నుంచి తగ్గిపోతూ వస్తుంది, అనిపిస్తుందా? ఈ డెక్కన్ ప్లాట్యూలో ఈ రీజన్ అంతా ఎలివేటెడ్, ఇటు సైడ్ అంతా మళ్ళీ ఎలివేషన్ తగ్గిపోతూ వస్తుంది. ఈస్టర్న్ ఘాట్స్ చేయడం తర్వాత కోస్టల్ ప్లేన్స్ కదా, అందుకే రివర్స్ అన్ని వెస్ట్ టు ఈస్ట్ ఫ్లో అవుతుంది. సో ఈ రీజన్స్ లో ఈ మొత్తం తెలంగాణలో ఉన్న హిల్స్ కూడా ఇక్కడ మనకి ఇంపార్టెంట్. విల్ కమ్ టు దట్. సో ద ప్లాట్యూ ఈస్ డ్రైన్డ్ బై విచ్ రివర్? గోదావరి. ఇందాక మనం చూసాం తెలంగాణ ప్లాట్యూ నార్త్ రీజన్ నుంచి వెళ్ళే రివర్, కట్ చేస్తూ వెళ్ళే రివర్ గోదావరి. అండ్ ఇది రివర్ ఇక్కడ సర్ఫేస్ మీద ఫ్లో అవుతుందా, సబ్ సర్ఫేస్ మీద? సబ్ సర్ఫేస్ కదా, అందుకే మనం ఏం చేయాలి? వాట్ యూఆర్ డూయింగ్ ఫర్ దట్ సిన్స్ ద రివర్ ఇస్ ఫ్లోయింగ్ సబ్ సర్ఫేస్?
Lift irrigation.
We are blocking the water and lifting it. Okay, so this plateau spreads in the Adilabad Bainsa Nirmal Plateau, Bongir Ramnath Plateau, Surapet Uzinagar Plateau. These are the blocks of this Telangana region. ఈ రీజన్ లో మనకి ఇంపార్టెంట్ రీజన్ ఏంటి అంటే, మనం మొత్తం తెలంగాణ ప్లాటూ ఈ రీజన్స్ లో హిల్స్ గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాలి. జస్ట్ లైక్ హౌ యూ రిమెంబర్ ఫర్ ఇండియన్ జోగ్రఫీ, విత్ ఇన్ తెలంగాణ స్టేట్ ఆల్సో you have to remember the hills. Okay, first we'll start with Nirmal. Have you ever been to Nirmal? Anyone? Nirmal దేనికి ఫేమస్ చెప్పాను కదా క్లాస్లో ఒకసారి ఇంట్రొడక్షన్ క్లాస్లో. నిర్మల్ ఇస్ ఫేమస్ ఫర్ నిర్మల్ ఫర్నిచర్, నిర్మల్ టాయ్స్ అండ్ నిర్మల్ painting. All these things got GA tag. Nirmal furniture, toys and painting. And also told you that these toys are made up of a special wood called poniki. White cedar under English law. White cedar. Okay, right. So Nirmal Hills. So Nirmal Hills లో ఉన్న ఘాట్ సెక్షన్ పేరు ఏంటంటే మహువా ఘాట్స్. నిర్మల్ హిల్స్ లో పార్ట్ ఉంది మహువా ఘాట్స్. And here in Adlabad and Kumaram district, the extension of hills the hills you find here is Satmala Hills. Satmala Hills. And the Ghat section you find here is Kerimeri Ghats. Mahbuba Ghats in Nirmal region and the Ghat section of the Satmala Hills of Adlabad Asifabad is Kerimeri Ghats. So if you follow the news, recently one of the hills of Telangana are in news. What are the hills? They're in national current affairs also, I guess. Yeah. Pandavula Guttalu. Have you come across this current affair? So Pandavula Guttalu designated as an exclusive geo-heritage site in Telangana. So where they are located? Let us see. Can you find Pandavula Guttalu? Which district it is? Looking at the map, you can say that. Which district it is now?
Jaishankar Bhopal.
Right. So remember, Pandavula Guttalu has gained official recognition as an exclusive geo-heritage site. Geo-heritage site in Telangana. Okay, it is older than Himalayas, obviously, because Himalayas are young mountains. It is located in Jaishankar Bhopalpally district of Telangana. Okay, and important Mesolithic site kuda. Mesolithic site ante enti? Mesolithic, Paleolithic, Mesolithic, Neolithic, right? Meso ante middle age, ancient history lo. And the designation ever istaru geo heritage site Pandavula Guttalaku vachindi geo heritage sites. It is given by Geological Survey of India. Geological Survey of India will give the tag Geo Heritage Site. So recently, which hills of Telangana got it is Pandavula Guttalu, located in which district? Jaishankar Bhopalpally. Okay. And how many of you been to this region? Papikondalu, Bhadrachalam, Papikondalu. Anyone? So if you go to Bhadrachalam, they'll take you to this boat ride from Bhadrachalam to Papikondal. They'll show you the Papikondalu, right? On either side of the river, you can find this Papikondalu. What are these Papikondalu? Papikondalu are part of which Ghats?
Eastern Ghats.
Yeah, they're part of Eastern Ghats. So Godavari River flows in this Deccan Peninsula of Telangana Plateau region and cuts through this Papikondalu and enters into AP at Polavaram. And they are constructing a dam here at Polavaram. It is a national project. It is a national project, remember. Okay, right. And in Nizam, see, I'm only discussing the hills which are important and news for this. Okay. And then Sirnapalli Hills, Sirnapalli Kundal or Sirnapalli Hills are of Nizambad, here in Nizambad district. Okay. And here there is a group called Kayati Lambadas. Kayati Lambadas. And this Lambada group, Kayati Lambadas, are asking the government them to include in scheduled tribe. Okay. So Sirnapalli Hills are famous for that. Right. So you already know Nalamala Hills. Nalamala Hills are part of Eastern Ghats. Okay, and here you find the elevated region called Amrabad. Okay, and you also know that Nagarjun Sagar Dam was constructed near place called Nandigonda. Nandigonda here. Okay, and if you know that Hyderabad's southern commissionerate is called Rachakonda Commissionerate, right?
Yes.
ఎందుకంటే అది రాచకొండ హిల్స్ అన్నమాట ఆ రీజన్. ఓకే, రైట్, చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఎప్పుడైనా చిలుకూరి బాలాజీ వెళ్ళారా? చిలుకూరి బాలాజీ అటు సైడ్
అనంతగిరి.
అనంతగిరి హిల్స్ ఉంటాయి. అనంతగిరి హిల్స్ నుంచే ఇక్కడ మనకి మూసీ రివర్ ఒరిజినేట్ అవుతుంది. మూసీ రివర్. ఓకే, ఇట్లానే మనకు మహబూబ్ నగర్ లో షాబాద్ హిల్స్ అని ఉంటాయి. మహబూబ్ నగర్ లో షాబాద్ హిల్స్ ఉంటాయి. ఇక్కడ నుంచే మనకి దిండి రివర్ ఒరిజినేట్ అవుతుంది. దిండి, బోత్ ఆర్ కృష్ణా ట్రిబ్యూటరీస్. ఓకే, మూసీ ఫ్రమ్ అనంతగిరి హిల్స్, దిండి షాబాద్ హిల్స్. ఓకే, అండ్ ఇక్కడ మనకి జస్ట్ అబౌవ్ నారాయణపేట ఇక్కడ మనకు కోయల్ హిల్స్ కనిపిస్తుంది. కోయల్ ప్రాజెక్ట్ కూడా ఉంది, కోయల్ హిల్స్. ఓకే, అండ్ తర్వాత మీకు అందరికి తెలుసు ఫేమస్, దట్ ఈస్ యాదాద్రి హిల్స్ కదా. ఎవరు అక్కడ చీఫ్ డైటీ? యాదాద్రి
లక్ష్మీ నరసింహస్వామి.
చీఫ్ డైటీస్ కూడా ఇంపార్టెంట్ మీకు కల్చరల్ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ వ్యూ. డైటీస్ కూడా ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఓకే, సో దీస్ ఆర్ సమ్ ఆఫ్ ది ఇంపార్టెంట్ హిల్స్ ఇన్ తెలంగాణ. చూడండి ఇక్కడ అన్ని మార్క్ చేసాను చూడండి. సాత్మాల హిల్స్, ఆదిలాబాద్ కేర్మీర్ ఘాట్, నిర్మల్ హిల్స్ మహబూబ్ ఘాట్, సారీ అనంతగిరి హిల్స్ ఎక్కడ? వికారాబాద్. ఓకే, నల్లమల హిల్స్ నగర్ కర్నూలు, ఇక్కడ పాయింట్ అమరాబాద్. మరి పాపికొండలు
భద్రాచలం.
భద్రాద్రి. ఓకే, నందికొండ
నల్గొండ.
ఓకే, అండ్ ద రీసెంట్ పాండవుల గుట్టలు, ఇట్ ఈస్ ఇన్ న్యూస్. వై దే ఆర్ ఇన్ న్యూస్? పాండవుల జిఐ ట్యాగ్ కాదమ్మా, జిఐ ట్యాగ్ ఇస్తారా?
జియో హెరిటేజ్ సైట్.
ఓకే, అట్లా. అండ్ సిర్నపల్లి హిల్స్ ఎక్కడ ఉంటాయి? సిర్నపల్లి హిల్స్ నిజామాబాద్. ఓకే, ఎందుకు ఫేమస్ అని చెప్పినా నేను? బికాస్ దేర్ ఆర్
ఖ్యాతి లంబడాస్.
ఓకే, తర్వాత షాబాద్ హిల్స్ ఎక్కడ? షాబాద్
మహబూబ్ నగర్.
ఏ రివర్ ఒరిజినేట్ అవుతుంది? దిండి. షాబాద్ హిల్స్ నుంచి తర్వాత భువనగిరి, యాదాద్రి మీకు తెలిసినాయి. ఓకే, తర్వాత రాఖీ హిల్స్ అని ఉంటాయి జగిత్యాల్లో. దీస్ ఆర్ సమ్ ఆఫ్ ది ఇంపార్టెంట్ హిల్స్. జస్ట్ ఒక క్విక్లీ రివిజన్ చేసేస్తే హిల్స్ ఇది ఏదో ఆస్క్ అబౌట్ దిస్. ఓకే, అందుకే చెప్తున్నా. సో మహబూబ్ ఘాట్, ఆసిఫాబాద్లో సాత్మాల హిల్స్, నిజామాబాద్లో సిర్నపల్లి హిల్స్, ఖైరతీ లంబాడీస్ చెప్పేసిన. తర్వాత జగిత్యాల రాఖీ హిల్స్, కంగల్ హిల్స్, భూపాల్పల్లి పాండవ గుట్టలు, రంగారెడ్డి నల్గొండ రాచకొండ అని చెప్పిన కమిషనరేట్, ఇక్కడ రత్నగిరి హిల్స్, బూజుగుట్టలు మీద. అండ్ మర్చిపోయాను చెప్పడం, పాపికొండలు కట్ చేసి గోదావరి పోలవరంలో ఎంటర్ అవుతుంది కదా, ఆంధ్రాలో కట్ చేసిన తర్వాత ఇక్కడ ఒక గార్జ్ ఫామ్ చేస్తుంది, దాని పేరు బైసన్ గార్జ్. ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఓకే, సేమ్ థింగ్ మనకి ఇండియన్ జోగ్రఫీలో 2 గార్జెస్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ కదా. సింటాక్సియల్ బెండ్స్ ఉంటాయి హిమాలయాస్ కి. ఏంటా బెండ్? ఒకటేమో నంగా పర్వత్, ఇంకోటి నమ్చా బర్వా కదా. నమ్చా బర్వా దగ్గర ఇక్కడ బ్రహ్మపుత్ర రివర్ గార్జ్ ఫామ్ చేస్తే, నంగా పర్వత్ దగ్గర ఇండస్ రివర్ గార్జ్ ఫామ్ చేస్తారు. సో అట్లనే మనకి రివర్ గోదావరి పాపికొండలను క్రాస్ చేసుకొని బైసన్ గార్జ్ ఫామ్ చేసి ఇట్ విల్ ఎంటర్ ఇన్ ది రీజన్. ఓకే, సో ది హైయెస్ట్ పాయింట్ located in the Telangana region, and actually the Telangana and Chhattisgarh, is the Doligutta. Is actually at the border of Telangana and Chhattisgarh. Which is the highest point in yeah. Amrabat Tiger is all right. Doligutta is one of the highest point here. Rachakonda Hills, Yadadri, you know this. Next division after the Telangana plateau. What is the total area of approximately? What is the total area of Telangana plateau?
59,903.
Major. Remember, it is a major part, hard rock region, undulating surface where you find mandanox and rounded hills over that in that region. That's the point here to remember. Yeah. So this entire region is nothing but your Telangana plateau region. Okay, and the green one you are saying is in the Godavari basin. So Godavari flows through these 9 districts. So entirely it is Godavari basin. Okay, and this one is the Krishna Piedmont region. Why it is called Krishna Piedmont? This because the tributaries like Musi, Dindi, okay, Aler, all these rivers are joining Krishna in this region. So the Nalgonda, Khammam region comes under the Krishna Piedmont region, and the 9 districts of Telangana, that is the uh, except excluding this Nirmal and all, Jagityal, Manchiryal, Pedappalli, Jaishankar-Palpalli, Mulugu, Bhadrati Kottama, all these things comes under the Godavari basin. Okay, and you know that this region is elevation is less than
300.
less than 300.
300.
300. Right, very good. So Godavari, as I told you, Godavari basin is no important for which mineral? Coal, remember, okay? It is important for coal. Which variety of coal? Gondwana coal, remember. Gondwana coal, remember. Important point. So this basin is regarded as the main, one of the main feature of Indian Peninsula. It is called as Godavari basin because Godavari flows through this region, as simple as such. And it flows through Karimnagar, Old S12 Karimnagar, Warangal and Khammam areas. Okay. So Nizamabad, Nirmal, Manchiryal, Jagityal, Pedappalli, Jaishankar-Palpalli, Mulugu, Bhadradi, Kottagudem, all this region. It covers around 37,000 square kilometer. Okay. And this geologically, this region, which rocks are found here? Gondwana rocks. Gondwana rocks. Gondwana rocks are known for, in this region is known for which mineral? Coal mineral, remember. Coal. Okay. And as I told you, at the border of the Mulugu, Jaishankar-Pal and Chhattisgarh, here you find a high point called Doligutta, but rest of the region is very low. Okay, since this region is drained by the Godavari and its tributary, this region is generally prone to floods when compared to the western Telangana, eastern Telangana, Jaishankar-Pali, Mulugu, Khammam. These regions are known for floods since the Godavari and its tributaries flows in this region. Okay, so if you look at the Godavari, see, you can see Nirmal, Jagityal, Manchiryal, Jagityal Peddapalli, Jaishankar Gopalpalli, Mulugu, okay, Bhadradi Kottagudem. So this entire region comes under Godavari basin. Important point here, the Kaleshwaram is an important point in this region. Why Kaleshwaram is important and why they are constructing the project here is that you can see that river Godavari is added by one tributary called, what is that? Pranahita. So it is adding it. So Kaleshwaram is an important pilgrim site for Hindus because the confluence point, wherever two rivers meet, the confluence points are important. We call them a Prayag, Dev Prayag, and Rudra Prayag, Allahabad, that Prayag Raj. So Kaleshwaram is also important because Pranita river joins Godavari here. Okay, and if you move to this region, you also find the Ettu Nagaram Wildlife Sanctuary. You know Ettu Nagaram? If you go to this Medaram Jitam, you come across this Ettu Nagaram, this region, Bodham, Bhimgal, and Nizamabad region. So one of the and Manuguru in Bhadradi Kottagudem. Do you know why Manuguru is important? Because there is an heavy water plant. Heavy water plant. Where do we use this heavy water? Nuclear power plants. Okay. As a moderator, we use this heavy water, and this heavy water plant is in Manuguru. So all these places comes under the Godavari basin. Then coming to the third physiographic region, this is Krishna Piedmont, covers the districts of Mehboob and Nalgonda. S12 Mehboob and Nalgonda area is around 14,000 square kilometers. Okay, so I was mentioning about the Archean rocks, right? So Archean rocks are which in around 4.6 to 2.5 million years ago. So that's why the oldest rocks are seen in Telangana region because it is part of Deccan Plateau, the Peninsular Plateau, which is the old one. Right. So in Krishna region, it covers the regions like Miryalguda, Huzuznagar. And if you look at this Miryalguda, Huzuznagar, these regions are also known for paddy cultivation and also known for limestone cement industries, right? Have you seen any cement industries in this region? So geologically, you find here the hard rocks. Since there is the support of the Krishna River areas because of its tributaries in this region, it is also known for cultivation, eroded region. So this is about the physiographic divisions of the Telangana. So first we have divided the Telangana region into three based on elevation: 600 and above, 300 to 600,
Less than
and
300.
plus 300. So basically Hyderabad, Rangareddy, this region comes under around 600, 300 to 600, Western Telangana 300, the Godavari basin, this region comes under this. And we have three physiographic divisions based on geological history: the Telangana Plateau, which is the largest one, around 59,000 square kilometer area. It consists of hard rock, undulating surface, archean gneiss, and you have the Godavari basin, around 37,000, 37,000 square kilometer area. And this Godavari basin is famous for Gondwana rocks. And these Gondwana rocks are famous for which mineral?
Coal.
Coal, remember. Okay. Then you have the Krishna basin. Krishna Piedmont area. So which districts the Krishna Piedmont is covered? Estival, Nalgonda, and
Mahbubnagar.
okay, these districts, because these tributaries of Krishna are mainly are in this region. For example, here Musi, Dindi, Aler. Okay, all these are the tributaries of this thing flowing through Nalgonda region. Okay, so when rivers will also cover this region once again. So this is about the physiographic divisions of India. So where are the Sirnapalli hills are located? Quickly, come on. Sirnapalli hills.
Nizambad.
Nizamabad, right? Very good. Satmala hills. అసలు పాండవుల గుట్టలు.
జయశంకర్ భూపాలపల్లి. Alpalli.
పాపికొండలు.
భద్రాద్రి కొత్తగూడెం.
నల్గొండ.
కొత్తగూడెం.
అమరాబాద్. Okay.
నగర్.
Here
అనంతగిరి హిల్స్.
Raki, Jagittal.
జగిత్యాల.
Rachakonda,
రంగారెడ్డి అండ్ నల్గొండ.
Yadadri Bhuvangiri, you know this. Okay, so these are some of the hills that we have. Yeah, so that's it for today. In the next class, I know this topic is little dry because of it's all about physiographic divisions and all, but I promise you from the next class you will come across some interesting topics about the rivers. Okay, the climate of Telangana, natural vegetation, wildlife, minerals, industries, population, the tribal groups, GA tax. All these six topics will be covering in the upcoming classes. Okay, yeah, that's it for today. Thank you.